Hey yo, E-King Fight News. Y'all know what it is. Apparently, Anthony Joshua, who's been hurt in several amateur fights, those were the times you really saw Anthony Joshua have to fight through some adversity. I know he got stunned badly in some of his Olympic trial fights. In fact, I think he lost to Dillian White at some point in the amateurs, and it's interesting because he's now avenged that loss. But something else has come out very recently. David Price, once highly touted a heavyweight prospect, actually knocked out Anthony Joshua in sparring. Wow, E-King Fight, y'all know what it is. Anthony Joshua has been through the ringer apparently in terms of sparring matches. He's fought some of the best guys out there. He sparred with Wladimir Klitschko before he ended up knocking him out. And he also sparred with David Price, who you see there. And according to David Price, he knocked out Anthony Joshua. Plain and simple. He said he caught him with a big right hand. That was before that he sold on a left hook. So he feinted on basically a throwaway left hook, and he brought that right hand right behind it, and it landed square on Anthony Joshua. According to David Price, it landed square on Anthony Joshua and basically knocked him out. According to David Price, Joshua landed face first, could not continue, and they stopped the sparring match. Well, that sounds like a knockout to me. So, not that Anthony Joshua has a loss on his record, because he doesn't. But it gives some credence to what Joseph Parker has been saying about Anthony Joshua's chin. Parker's been saying this dude has a glass chin and expect me to knock this boy out. So here's David Price's words, specifically on sparring Anthony Joshua. He said he remembers it well. I landed a hard shot, a good shot, similar to what Klitschko landed on him. I caught Joshua with a throwaway left hook. I sold him that, then caught him with a big right hand. He fell forwards onto his face and he went down heavily. He tried to get up, but on unsteady legs, the trainer pulled him out. There was no shame in it. I've done it to a lot of people. It happens. If he was knocked down by a light puncher or a light heavyweight, then yes. This is Price weighing in on how durable Anthony Joshua's chin is. And he's saying, I'm a big puncher. I'm a big guy. This heavyweight division. You land a big shot, people go down. People get knocked out. So, according to David Price, the Parker side seems to be clutching at anything they can throw mud around at Anthony Joshua. But from a boxing standpoint, he's done everything right. So, Price at the same time gives credit to Anthony Joshua for what he's done in the heavyweight division. Obviously, he's not the same fighter that fought David Price in that sparring session. Anthony Joshua has improved since then, dramatically. He you know what? You want to talk about being wild? Anthony Joshua, similar to Deontay Wilder, I would consider him sort of a wild power puncher. He at times you could see early in his career he would tend to lose his form when he had some opponents hurt, and he would miss plenty of shots, but he would still get his man out of there. And I think that's something he's really had some improvement in, where he's a lot more measured, and he understands the psychology where he understands better when he's truly hurt his opponents compared to, say, when someone might be playing possum and might be looking to counter, like a Carlos Takam, right? Although that Carlos Takam wasn't a great performance, he showed great improvements from how he fought Wladimir Klitschko, hurting him and pouncing on him and getting him out of there and solidifying his spot in the heavyweight division. That was an extraordinary performance, and he's gotten tons of accolades for that, well deserved. But it's a new year, it's 2018, and Anthony Joshua needs to step up once again and get on the path to being undisputed champion. I think that's what the world wants to see. And Anthony Joshua, he looks to be fighting Joseph Parker in a unification. That's awesome. I am highly anticipating that fight because it's a massive fight in the UK. It's a heavyweight unification. And once that is cleared up, we will be one fight away from undisputed champion. And I think that means a heck of a lot. We would be one fight away. And all it would take is Eddie Hearn to say, hey, let's go to Wembley Stadium and let's make this fight with the Deontay Wilder Luis Ortiz winner. And that would be a perfect scenario. I don't know what Eddie Hearn thinks about that, but to me, that's a perfect scenario. I don't know if it's going to play out like that. Anthony Joshua also made it clear that his mandatory obligations do hold some priority, and his newly appointed mandatory is Alexander Povetkin on the WBA side. So, considering that, he might have to fight Alexander Povetkin. And guess what? David Price is already accepted a fight with Povetkin if Povetkin signs with Matchroom and takes that offer. So there's a lot of shit going on behind the scenes for Povetkin to get in the ring with a guy like Anthony Joshua, and we just have to wait and see what happens, because Povetkin may decide to take a different course of action. Maybe he doesn't want to fight Joshua. I mean, Povetkin, we saw what happened against Wladimir Klitschko. This is the guy that knocked out Wladimir Klitschko. And on top of that, Povetkin ain't the same fighter that fought Wladimir Klitschko. He's older and he's off steroids. So how is that going to help him? You know, Povetkin damn near, he's going the distance with Christian Hammer. It's like, man, they sucked the juice right out of him, man. He lost his mojo. So we got Anthony Joshua, who has shown vulnerability in sparring, but in terms of a professional in the ring, one of the best in the world, no question about it. I would like to see him step up, though, and take on a Deontay Wilder after the Joseph Parker fight. Of course, I'm assuming he wins that fight. If Joseph Parker was to pull off an upset here, cracking Joshua and taking him out, that would be extraordinary in its own right. And it would be, for me, it would be a shocker. It would be a shocker for all the fans in the UK. I mean, if he were to lose to that guy, Joseph Parker, out of New Zealand, what an upset. For me, that's a huge upset, because it's clear as day Anthony Joshua is likely a solid favorite in that fight. I mean, I can look it up right now. I'm sure he's a solid favorite. He's probably a minus, let's say, 300. Yeah, minus 250. Parker might be a plus 200. And I think Joshua deserves to be favored in that fight. He did knock out Wladimir Klitschko. But his performance against Takam was somewhat revealing in terms of what he would have problems with. And if Parker goes in there, he uses his jab, he uses the ring, you know, use that canvas, give him a little bit of movement, give him a little bit of slickness, and you see a different Anthony Joshua. I'll tell you that much. I mean, Wladimir Klitschko was doing very well in the second half of that fight up until that 11th round where he got clipped and he got tagged and he got taken out. He got taken out by a young lion. But what happens when the young lion tires out? And that's all questions that still remain to be answered. So let me know what you guys think. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. David Price on when he KO'd Anthony Joshua in sparring. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. You can fight news, y'all know what it is.